Right here, we have a new moon and how it looks like from Earth. And right here, this is the sunlight coming from the sun and how it looks like in its circle around the Earth. Whenever it does this, the light always stays the same, but when it rotates, its shadow's always on the left side of the moon. Whenever it does, right now, if it's like this, you can't see any of the light from the moon.
Okay, so here we have a waxing crescent, and it's when the Earth makes its first 1/8 turn
To the left.
to the counterclockwise direction from the Earth. So here's the new moon that we showed you previously, and the waxing crescent made 1/8 turn to the counterclockwise direction.
All right. What we have here is the first quarter. What mostly people would call it is the half moon. However, it's only from Earth's view, it looks like we only actually see a quarter of the moon's light. On the other side, like right here, if we're facing it and we're looking at it from there, that's the way it looks like. However, on the other side right here, there's still light.
Okay, so here we have a waxing gibbous, and it's basically the moon keeps increasing in size until it eventually reaches the full moon phase. Now, if you see over here, we previously viewed the first quarter, which we were only viewing this part of it, but right here, we're seeing basically almost a whole moon. It practically ends right there. It like makes a little dashed line. So after that comes the full moon.
Alright, right here we have the full moon. As you can see, there is no shadows facing. Over here we have a chart, and it shows the full moon. You would think that it would look like a lunar eclipse, but since it's on Earth's on its axis on it and everything, if this was in a 3D revolution, it would show that the moon is a full moon. And also, in other terms, sometimes the full moon could be called a second quarter. And right here, we're at 14 days. That's how long it takes for it to reach from a new moon to full moon. So we're halfway through the lunar cycle.
Alright, so we have a waning gibbous. As you can see, it is completely opposite from the waxing gibbous. The way that this is that the shadow is no longer on the left portion of the moon, but it's more or less on the right half instead. So, as you see over here, this dotted line represents the portion that we are not seeing. So basically, this part is just the shaded part, and that's what you see over there on that diagram. Okay, so after the waning gibbous, and as you know, waning means to get smaller. After the waning gibbous comes the third quarter moon / the last quarter.
Alright, what we were talking about now is the last quarter, or otherwise known as the third quarter. It's called that because the full moon is really called the second quarter, and the first quarter, right here, is called, well, the first quarter. If you look right here, you can see that it's like, right now we're at 21 days. And on the other side would be 7 days. This would be the start of the days, 28 days, which is what the full lunar cycle is.
Alright, so as you can see here, we have moved on from the third quarter / last quarter onto the waning crescent. And basically, instead of the crescent being on the right side, it's going to be on the left side. And then this is going to overgrow it, and it's going to become a new moon once again. So as you can see over here on the diagram, this dotted line here, very vaguely seen, is where is the portion that we are going to see. This part right here, this is going to be all shaded. So that's day 28, and after that, it comes the new moon, and that resets the whole lunar cycle. Woolly Mammoth.